Hey everyone, it's Tomek from Soccer Bedtime Stories. I'm so glad you found us here. Before the story starts, I wanted to ask you a favor. Soccer Bedtime Stories is an independent podcast made possible by listeners like you. If you are a returning listener, I would like you to consider joining Soccer Bedtime Stories community by becoming a member. You can click on the link in the podcast description or by visiting soccerbedtimestories.com. For as little as the cost of a coffee per month, you can ensure that the show continues and remains ad-free and accessible to fans all around the world. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the story, and I hope you reach out on Instagram and My Soccer Bedtime or at soccerbedtimestories.com. I hope you enjoy this story. Sleep well and dream big, soccer friend. Hello there, soccer friend. As the stars twinkle above and the world settles into quiet, let's take a journey. Not to the bright lights of a grand stadium or the roar of thousands of fans, but to a small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Imagine Madeira, a place where towering mountains meet the endless sea, where children chase footballs down narrow streets, and where dreams are born under the warm glow of the setting sun. Tonight, we'll follow the incredible journey of Cristiano Ronaldo, a boy who once played on those very streets, kicking a ball against the walls of his tiny home, imagining a future far beyond the island's shores. From his beginnings in Santo Antonio to the world's greatest football arenas, Cristiano's story is one of relentless determination, sacrifice, and the unbreakable belief in a dream. And just like Cristiano once dreamed beneath the Madeira sky, there are dreamers everywhere. On the streets of New York, where a boy named Gabriel practices skills, and in Spain, where Luis spends hours perfecting his game, football has a way of connecting people across the world, reminding us that with enough passion and perseverance, anything is possible. We'll relive the nights Cristiano spent alone in Lisbon, far from his family, the hunger that gnawed at his stomach when money was tight, and the struggles he faced in school as he dared to believe that football, not books, would be his way forward. We'll witness the heartbreak of losing, the fire that fueled his training, and the night he dazzled Manchester United so completely that their players begged their manager to sign him. But beyond the trophies, beyond the records, this is a story about resilience, self-belief, and the courage to dream big, even when the world tells you it's impossible. So settle in, soccer friend. Let's explore how a skinny boy from Portugal became Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, a name that would one day echo in stadiums across the world, in places where the grass is green and the crowds are loud. This is a story of passion, perseverance, and the beautiful game. Origins: Cristiano Ronaldo. On a little island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where the mountains met the sea, a boy was born with a dream bigger than the sky above him. His name was Cristiano Ronaldo, and his journey to greatness began in Santo Antonio, a small neighborhood in Funchal, Madeira. Cristiano was the youngest of 4 children in the Aveiro family. His mother, Maria Dolores, worked as a cook, and his father, José Diniz, was a gardener. Life was simple and sometimes difficult, but their home was always filled with love and laughter. In Cristiano's heart, though, there was one thing that mattered most: football, soccer. From the moment he could walk, Cristiano had a ball at his feet. His father, who also worked as a kitman for a small football club called Andorinha, would take him to games, and young Cristiano would watch in awe as the older boys kicked the ball across the dusty pitch. One day, when he was just 8 years old, Cristiano joined the Andorinha Academy. He was small, skinny, and had to play against boys much bigger than him. But there was something special about him. He ran faster, kicked harder, and dribbled past defenders as if they were invisible. Yet, there was one thing everyone noticed about him. Cristiano hated losing. When his team lost, he cried. When he missed a goal, he cried. Even when his teammates didn't play as well as he hoped, he cried. This earned him his first nickname, Crybaby. But behind those tears, there was something more powerful than anyone realized: determination. At 10 years old, Cristiano had already outgrown Andorinha. He moved to Nacional, one of the best clubs on the island, and within 2 years he had become their brightest young star. Coaches whispered about him. Fans came to watch him. And soon, a bigger club took notice. Sporting, one of Portugal's greatest teams. But there was this problem. Sporting wasn't in Madeira. It wasn't on the island. It was in Lisbon, on the mainland, a city far away. And if Cristiano wanted to become a soccer player, he would have to leave his home, his family, and everything he knew behind. At just 12 years old, he made the bravest decision of his life. The night before he left, Cristiano sat on his bed, staring at the ceiling. His mother sat beside him, holding his hand. "Are you sure, mi filo?" she asked softly. Cristiano nodded, even though his heart was heavy. "I have to go, ma. I have to follow my dream." When the plane took off the next morning, Cristiano watched the island grow smaller and smaller until it disappeared behind the clouds. He wiped his eyes. He was not going to cry this time. He he had a promise to keep. Life in Lisbon was hard. The city was big and noisy, nothing like the peaceful mountains of Madeira. He missed his mother's cooking, his siblings' laughter, and the smell of the ocean. At night, when the other boys were asleep, he lay awake, thinking about home. Some nights he cried into his pillow, but only when no one could see. School was another challenge. The lessons were harder than in Madeira, and Cristiano often struggled to keep up. His thick accent made him stand out, and some of the other boys teased him, calling him the island boy or laughing at the way he spoke. He was far more comfortable on the football field than in the classroom. One day, in frustration, he argued with the teacher who told him he would never succeed in life if he didn't focus on his studies. Angry and overwhelmed, he stormed out of the class, knowing deep down that school wasn't where his future lay. Money was tight. Sometimes he and his teammates would get hungry late at night, so they would walk to a nearby McDonald's and knock on the back door. A kind woman named Edna and two of the other employees would give them leftover hamburgers. Cristiano never forgot their kindness. Through the hunger, the loneliness, the struggles in school, and the long, exhausting training sessions, Cristiano never gave up. He trained harder than anyone else. He stayed after practice, perfecting his shots. He did extra runs, extra drills, and extra everything. Even when he struggled with school, when he felt lost in the classroom, when he missed home, he kept going. He made a promise to himself. He would be the best. Then, at 15 years old, something terrible happened. Cristiano had always been fast. So fast that defenders couldn't keep up. But one day, he started feeling strange. His heart was beating too fast, even when he wasn't running. The doctors told him he had a condition called tachycardia. His heart was working too hard. If he didn't get surgery, he might never play football again. The news shattered him. At that moment, for that brief moment, he thought his dream was over. But Cristiano wasn't someone who gave up easily. The club spoke to his family, and though hundreds of miles away, he had surgery. And just days later, after the surgery, he was back on the pitch, stronger than before. Nothing, not hunger, not loneliness, not even his own heart was going to stop him. By the time Cristiano was 17, he was no longer just a promising academy player. He was Sporting's rising star. He had speed like a sprinter, the strength of a warrior, and the skills of a magician. And on August 6th, 2003, In Lisbon's Estadio José Alvalde, something happened that would change his life forever. That night, Sporting was playing a friendly match against Manchester United, one of the biggest and most powerful clubs in the world. For the English players, this was to be just another preseason match, a chance to fine-tune their tactics before the start of their season. They had no idea what was about to hit them. The stadium buzzed with thousands of roaring fans as the referee's whistle echoed through the air to begin the game. From the very first minute, something became clear. This wasn't going to just be another easy game for United. And the reason? Cristiano Ronaldo. Every time he got the ball, something magical happened. He ran faster than any player on the field, darting past defenders like the wind. He dribbled with such skill that his opponents couldn't keep up, twisting and turning with dazzling stepovers. He was fearless, taking on multiple defenders at once, moving the ball with such grace that even seasoned professionals found themselves chasing shadows. The Manchester United players were stunned. "This kid is unbelievable," they murmured to each other. One of the players marking Cristiano that night was John O'Shea, a strong and experienced defender. But no amount of experience could prepare him for Ronaldo. Cristiano attacked on the left wing, cutting inside with explosive speed. O'Shea tried to keep up, but it was like trying to catch a ghost. Step over, cut inside, accelerate, go. Cristiano zipped past him again and again. At halftime, as the players walked off the pitch, O'Shea was breathing heavily, drenched in sweat. Inside the United dressing room, the players were still in shock. Ryan Giggs chuckled, shaking his head. "The kid is something else." Rio Ferdinand grinned. "John, you need some oxygen, mate?" Even Roy Keane, the team's blustery captain, couldn't ignore what he had just witnessed. "We need to sign that boy now." On the flight back to England, there was only one topic of conversation. Among the players, Cristiano Ronaldo. They begged their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him. "Boss, we can't just let him go somewhere else," one player insisted. "He's gonna be a superstar," another added. What they didn't know was that Sir Alex already knew. The decision had been made. Within days, Manchester United had agreed to sign Ronaldo for £12.5 million, making him the most expensive teenager in English football history. Cristiano had dreamed of becoming a professional footballer. Now he was about to be one and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. That little boy from the island had arrived. Now, this was just the beginning. We know that from United, he went to Madrid, Juventus, returned to United, and even ended up in Saudi Arabia. He's won trophies, broke records, and has become a hero to millions. But no matter how famous he became, he never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the little island of Madeira, the back door of McDonald's, or the nights he cried himself to sleep. He had once been a boy with a dream, a boy who refused to give up, a boy who dared to believe. And that is why today, when children around the world kick a football and look up at the stars, they whisper his name with admiration. Cristiano Ronaldo, the boy who never stopped dreaming. Sleep well and dream big, soccer friends.
Thank you for joining us on this enchanting journey through the world of soccer bedtime stories. As we reach the end of this episode, I want to express my gratitude for your presence and support. Your engagement means the world to us, and we invite you to become an integral part of our vibrant community. Make sure to subscribe and follow. This will not only keep the magic alive, but also help shape the stories we bring to you. We're eager to hear your feedback, suggestions, and the topics that ignite your passion. Feel free to reach out to us at soccerbedtimestories@gmail.com. Together we'll create a community that celebrates the magic of the beautiful game. Now, sleep well and dream big, soccer friends.